Welcome back to Dopamine Clinic, where we explore the deepest corners of the mind and break through the barriers that hold us back. If you're ready to dive into the psychology of self-doubt and learn how to silence the voice that keeps you stuck, you've come to the right place. In this episode, we'll explore how self-doubt takes root, why it's so powerful, and most importantly, how you can silence the inner critic that keeps you from reaching your true potential. If you've ever questioned your abilities or hesitated to take action because you feared failure, this episode is for you. Let's get started. What is self-doubt? Self-doubt is the feeling that you are incapable, unworthy, or unqualified for success. It's the inner critic that whispers, "You're not good enough," or "You'll never be able to do this." It often prevents you from taking bold action because you're afraid of being judged or failing. The roots of self-doubt stem from negative beliefs that have been ingrained in your subconscious mind, often from childhood experiences, failures, or societal expectations. Self-doubt is not just a fleeting feeling. It's a persistent mental pattern that can take over your thoughts and behavior. It's that voice in your head that asks, "What if I fail?" or "What if I'm not enough?" And the more you listen to it, the more it holds you back. Why self-doubt holds you back? Self-doubt can stop you from pursuing your goals, taking risks, and stepping out of your comfort zone. When you doubt yourself, you often question your abilities and hesitate to make decisions. This can lead to procrastination. You avoid starting a task because you fear you won't be able to complete it successfully. Avoidance. You shy away from opportunities because you don't believe you're ready. Inaction. You get stuck in analysis paralysis, overthinking every decision instead of taking action. Self-doubt also makes you feel like you need to be perfect before you can succeed, which only leads to inaction and self-sabotage. The reality is, no one is perfect, and waiting for the perfect moment only holds you back further. The voice of the inner critic. The inner critic is a powerful force that feeds your self-doubt. It's that negative, judgmental voice that constantly undermines your confidence and makes you feel inadequate. The inner critic often uses language like, "You'll never be able to do this," "You're not smart enough for this," "People will laugh at you if you fail." These self-limiting beliefs can be loud and convincing. They create a mental narrative that keeps you stuck in fear and insecurity. The inner critic often plays on your fears of failure, rejection, and being judged by others. The origins of the inner critic. The inner critic doesn't develop overnight. It's formed over years of negative experiences, failures, and societal expectations. Perhaps it started in childhood when you were told you weren't good enough, or maybe it developed through repeated experiences of failure or rejection. In many cases, the inner critic is also shaped by societal pressures and the unrealistic standards we often place on ourselves. The comparison trap, where you compare yourself to others, amplifies these feelings of inadequacy. Social media can exacerbate this further, making it easy to feel like everyone else is succeeding while you're stuck in self-doubt. The inner critic and perfectionism. The inner critic feeds into perfectionism. It makes you believe that you must be flawless to be worthy of success, love, or acceptance. This belief leads to fear of failure. You avoid taking risks because you're afraid of not being perfect. Overthinking. You second-guess every decision, trying to make the perfect choice. Self-sabotage. You procrastinate or avoid action because you feel like you'll never meet your own high expectations. The truth is, perfectionism is a mental barrier. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of inaction and self-doubt because it prevents you from embracing the reality that failure is an essential part of growth. Step 1. Recognize the inner critic. The first step in silencing your inner critic is to recognize it. Awareness is key. When you feel that voice of self-doubt or negative self-talk creeping in, take a moment to pause and identify it as the inner critic. Ask yourself, is this thought based on reality, or is it just my fear speaking? Where did this belief come from? Is it something I was taught, or is it based on a past experience? Does this thought serve my growth, or is it keeping me stuck? By recognizing the inner critic for what it is, an unrealistic voice born from fear, you can begin to detach from it and prevent it from influencing your decisions. Step 2. Challenge negative beliefs. Once you've identified the inner critic, it's time to challenge the negative beliefs it's feeding you. The inner critic often thrives on distorted thinking. It exaggerates your flaws and amplifies your weaknesses. Instead of accepting these thoughts as truths, question them. For example, inner critic, you're not smart enough to do this. Challenge. What evidence do I have that this is true? What achievements or experiences show that I am capable? Start debunking the lies your inner critic tells you. Write down the negative thoughts and then counter them with empowering evidence of your strengths, past successes, and abilities. Step 3. Replace negative thoughts with empowering beliefs. After challenging the negative beliefs, it's time to replace them with more empowering thoughts. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," shift to "I have the skills and resources to make this work." By repeating these positive thoughts consistently, you'll gradually reprogram your subconscious mind. Use affirmations to replace self-doubt with self-belief. Examples include, "I am capable of achieving my goals. I trust in my abilities and take bold action. I am worthy of success and happiness." Step 4. Take action despite the doubt. Action is one of the most effective ways to silence the inner critic. The inner critic thrives on inaction. When you doubt yourself, you hesitate and delay taking the necessary steps towards your goals. But when you take action, even in the face of doubt, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Step 5. Practice self-compassion. The inner critic often thrives on harsh self-judgment. To silence this voice, you need to practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes. Understand that no one is perfect, and failure is simply a learning opportunity. When you feel self-doubt, instead of berating yourself, remind yourself, "It's okay to make mistakes. I'm learning and growing. I am doing my best, and that's enough." By treating yourself with compassion, you stop the cycle of negative self-talk and give yourself the space to grow without fear of judgment. Step 6. Celebrate your progress. The final step in overcoming self-doubt is to celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each time you take action, face your fears, or achieve a goal, take a moment to celebrate. This reinforces the belief that you can succeed and diminishes the power of the inner critic. Self-doubt doesn't have to control your life. By recognizing the inner critic, challenging negative beliefs, and taking action, you can silence the self-doubt and unlock your true potential. Remember, your worth is not determined by your fears or past mistakes. You are capable, worthy, and strong. What is fear? Fear is a natural human emotion that serves as a protective mechanism. It is designed to keep us safe, alerting us to potential threats. However, in many situations, fear can be irrational, especially when it comes to self-doubt and failure. Fear often manifests in ways that prevent us from taking action, such as fear of failure, the thought that we won't succeed, or worse, will look foolish. Fear of judgment, worrying that others will criticize or reject us if we fail. Fear of the unknown, avoiding situations where we are unsure of the outcome. How fear and self-doubt are interconnected. Fear and self-doubt are inseparable. The more we doubt ourselves, the more fear we feel. For example, if you have an underlying belief that you are not capable of achieving your goals, you will experience fear every time you face a challenge that could potentially bring failure or embarrassment. This fear then feeds into the cycle of self-doubt, keeping you stuck in place. The challenge isn't to eliminate fear, because it will always be there. It's about learning how to use fear as fuel for action, rather than allowing it to paralyze you. Fear doesn't have to be a sign that you can't do something. Instead, it's often a sign that growth is on the other side of that fear. Step 1. Embrace fear, don't avoid it. When you experience fear, Instead of running from it, try to embrace it. Fear is often a sign that you're about to step outside your comfort zone. And it's in those moments that real growth happens. Here's the shift. Instead of thinking, "I'm scared, so I can't do this," start thinking, "I'm scared, but this is where I need to be. This fear means I'm on the right path." When you embrace fear, you stop letting it control you. Instead, you allow it to guide you. Fear points you toward the places in your life where you can experience the most growth. Each time you face something that scares you and push through it, you gain confidence, resilience, and clarity. Step 2. Break fear down into smaller, manageable steps. One of the reasons fear can be paralyzing is because we often view the situation as overwhelming. A large goal can seem impossible to achieve, which amplifies fear and self-doubt. But the key to overcoming this is to break down the task into smaller, more manageable steps. For example, if you want to start a new business but fear the failure, break it down into simple steps. Step 1. Research the market. Step 2. Create a business plan. Step 3. Start small with a minimal viable product. By breaking down the task, you take away the intensity of fear and make it more manageable. Each small victory will push you closer to your goal and reduce the grip fear has on you. Step 3. Use fear as a compass. Instead of avoiding fear, use it as a compass. The areas where you feel the most fear are often the areas where you need to be. Fear can point you in the direction of what matters most to you, the areas where growth is possible. For example, if you fear public speaking, it might be because deep down, you know that it's an important skill that will help you achieve your goals. Fear is telling you, this is something you should be doing. Embrace it and use that energy to push forward. Step 4. Start small and celebrate progress. The key to building confidence is through action. Even the smallest action helps to build momentum and diminishes fear and self-doubt. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about your goals. It comes from taking steps toward them. Start with baby steps. If you're afraid of starting a new project, don't wait for the perfect moment. Take one small step today. Write an outline, make one phone call, or spend an hour working on your idea. These small actions will build your confidence over time and allow you to take bigger risks in the future. Also, celebrate each small win along the way. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a victory over the fear and self-doubt that tried to hold you back. The more you celebrate, the more your subconscious mind will associate action with success, making it easier to take action in the future. Step 5. Replace fear with courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to take action despite fear. Confidence comes from doing things that scare you over and over again. The more you take action, the more courage you build. To replace fear with courage, start practicing mindfulness. Pay attention to your thoughts when fear arises, and instead of letting it control you, replace it with affirmations of courage and self-belief. For example, when you feel fear, say to yourself, "I am capable of facing this fear, and I choose courage over hesitation." Step 6. Surround yourself with support. Building confidence can be challenging when you face fear alone. Surround yourself with supportive people who encourage you and lift you up. Positive feedback, reassurance, and even just being around people who believe in you can help you push through self-doubt and fear. Additionally, seek out mentors or role models who have overcome similar fears. Their stories and experiences can help you navigate your own journey, providing both inspiration and actionable advice for facing your fears. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions, but it doesn't have to control your life. By embracing fear, breaking it down into smaller steps, and using it as a compass, you can transform it into fuel for growth. Remember, fear often points to the areas in your life where real growth happens, and by taking consistent action, you build confidence and resilience. The power of discomfort, fear, at its core, is a signal. It's your mind telling you that you're on the edge of something new, something important. But too often, we avoid fear because it makes us uncomfortable. The discomfort of fear is often a signpost. It tells you that you are about to step outside your comfort zone, where growth occurs. The most successful people in the world have learned to embrace discomfort. They don't avoid the feeling of fear or try to eliminate it. Instead, they learn to use it as a sign that they are moving in the right direction. Growth happens at the edge of discomfort. When you allow fear to guide you, you stop viewing it as an obstacle and start viewing it as an opportunity for growth. If you continuously push through the discomfort and take action despite fear, you develop a mindset that is resilient, courageous, and unstoppable. Step 1. Reframe fear as excitement. Instead of seeing fear as something to avoid, try to reframe it as excitement. The physiological responses to fear and excitement are almost identical: increased heart rate, a surge of energy, and heightened alertness. The difference between fear and excitement is the way we interpret these emotions. Next time you feel afraid, remind yourself that this is your body getting energized for action. It's not fear, it's excitement for what's ahead. By reframing fear as excitement, you take away its power over you and turn it into a motivator. Step 2. Fear as a compass for what matters most. Fear often points to what you truly care about. Think about it for a moment. What do you fear the most? Is it failure, rejection, the fear of being judged? These fears often reflect deep-seated desires that you may not fully acknowledge. The more you fear something, the more it likely means that it matters to you. For example, if you fear failure, it could indicate that you care deeply about success and achieving your goals. If you fear rejection, it could reflect a desire for acceptance and connection. If you fear judgment, it may indicate a deep longing to be seen and valued for who you truly are. Instead of running away from these fears, use them as a guide. They're showing you what matters most in your life. Use that insight to fuel your journey toward success. Let your fear push you to take action and work towards your most important desires. Step 3. Take fear-induced action. The key to transforming fear into a powerful motivator is to take action, even when you're afraid. Every time you take action despite fear, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your fears. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, the next time an opportunity to speak arises, don't shy away from it. Instead, take it head-on. Every time you face the fear, the next time will be easier. You'll build confidence and resilience as you face uncomfortable situations that challenge you. Step 4. Use fear to set bigger goals. Fear can be an indicator that you're playing it too safe. If you're not feeling fear, it could mean that you're not pushing yourself enough. Use fear as a benchmark for how much you are truly stretching yourself. Set goals that scare you. The more fear you feel, the more likely it is that you're aiming high. Don't let fear deter you. Let it drive you toward bigger, bolder goals. Remember, nothing worth achieving comes without some level of discomfort. Step 5. Fail fast, fail often, learn quickly. Failure is an inevitable part of success. Yet, for many people, the fear of failure is paralyzing. We fear failure because we see it as a reflection of our inadequacy. But in reality, failure is simply the feedback we need to grow. It shows us what doesn't work so we can adjust and move forward. Instead of avoiding failure, embrace it, fail fast, fail often, and learn from your mistakes. The faster you fail, the quicker you will learn and grow. Each failure brings you one step closer to success because it shows you what you need to improve. Use failure as a tool for growth, not as a reason to stop. Every successful person you admire has failed countless times. What sets them apart is their ability to bounce back, learn, and take action again. Step 6. Reframe rejection as redirection. Another fear that many people experience is rejection. Whether it's fear of rejection in relationships, at work, or from society, Rejection is a universal experience. Instead of letting rejection discourage you, reframe it as redirection. Rejection isn't personal. It's simply life's way of pointing you in a different direction, one that's more aligned with your true path. Use rejection as an opportunity to pivot and explore new opportunities. Every no brings you closer to a yes that's better suited to your growth. Step 7. Create a fear action plan. To fully integrate fear into your life, create a fear action plan. Identify the fears that are holding you back, and then outline steps to face each fear head-on. Create a step-by-step plan that includes small, manageable actions that help you move through the fear and toward your goals. For example, if you fear starting a business, Step 1. Research the market for 30 minutes a day. Step 2. Draft a simple business plan. Step 3. Speak with a mentor or business coach. Step 4. Take the first step toward launching, even if it's small. By breaking down the fear into actionable steps, you take away the power that fear holds over you. Step 8. Celebrate your courage. Finally, celebrate every step you take, no matter how small. Every time you confront your fear, you're showing up for yourself and proving that you are capable of more than you thought. Celebrate each victory and use it as motivation to continue moving forward. Fear is not your enemy. It's your ally. It points to where you need to grow and shows you the areas of your life that matter most. By embracing fear, breaking it down into small steps, and using it as fuel for action, you can transform your fears into opportunities. In the next episode, we'll discuss how to build unshakable confidence and take consistent action toward your goals. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe to Dopamine Clinic for more insights on breaking mental barriers and unlocking your true potential. Your fears are not here to stop you. They are here to show you where you need to grow.